So this is a high-end Harmony, all solid mahogany, top, back, sides. You can tell it's an upper end Harmony because there's no screws holding this on. And this is not a floating bridge, it's glued down, no extra screws, it's adjustable. Pin bridge, and the upper end white paint border. Anyway, this guitar is unplayable because there's a bow in the neck. There was a bow in the neck. And a slight movement over the years. And they made them with high action from the factory. But anyway, the neck angle has it running. It needs to be about double what it is and sit up on top, maybe a little higher if we could get it. But the thing had a bow. I got it at a good price because the neck adjuster, the ad said you can turn the truss rod screw and it just keeps spinning. So I bought it thinking I could handle it. So this was my spatula at the ranch, and got dropped on the floor, broke the ceramic handle, and it's the ultimate glue joint splitter. It's high glue. A couple of things. The anatomy of the contemporary truss rod neck. Get this out of here. Take that off. This is the system that it came with. There's a groove. And these two rods, now I believe the groove was the same diameter or the same width as the steel rod. So they're going, well, we got to retrofit this thing. What are we going to do? For what they did was, anyway, I was able to pull this thing out. I kind of drove it out before this was off, I believe. Yeah, I pulled it out and determined that, yeah, it spins. So I took this off. I got real lucky. These don't come apart. Partly, I think the reason the neck was bowed is because this came off easily. I don't think they had enough glue. I've cleaned it up since then. So the anatomy of the system they adopted was that this goes as far to the bottom as possible. It has to be down as low as possible. They welded. This is about a number 8. That's .164. It's an 832 thread, probably. I haven't measured it. But to get narrow, like the steel thing that was in there, they chose this size. They should have gone up one size, but I've never measured their steel. Okay, so they welded these two together so that it couldn't spin very far. Now you had a neck that somehow was fairly well bowed. It probably had heavy strings, and they turned this sucker so much that it broke the weld. The weld was not probably that good to begin with. Broke the weld. Now this thing would just spin in there. Took the top off. I'd had this out. This would have sat on top. So got rid of that. I've leveled this. It's leveled a plus or minus 0.02 of an inch. Could prove it if I wanted to. Now, we got to fix this neck angle problem. The joint is good, solid, no real warpage. There's minor warpage here, which we'll put some reinforcements in. That's what made the neck need this slight adjustment. I'm going to cut this. And I've tapered it already in the belt sander. And it's going to go here. The neck will be slightly elevated, but only a teeny bit thicker here, a 1/16 of an inch thicker here, maybe an 1/8 here. And the neck angle is back. it's a matter of whether I can use these frets or not. But we also need a truss rod. I went through my collection and found this thing. It's just great. I think this is at least a number 10. That would be 190. Yeah, this is 2/10 of an inch in diameter and probably a 190, which is, yeah, this is a 1032, very standard. And I took my Fordham, got this space cleaned out, got a teeny bit to go to fit this. This rod is, I had to widen this groove. That's why this, anyway, I widened it to fit this. This fits down in the channel here, drops in here, and I have the original nut. And what goes in here is a washer, possibly this one, but I doubt it. I'd have to drill it out. It's just, we need a washer that fills up there's a counterbore that goes in. If that hit against, I'll have to use a washer the same diameter. But now it's a matter of what steps to take. This is flat and level. This is flat and level. This has been flattened, but it's going, I think I'm going to glue this down after I get it as perfect as I can. Then check its flat and levelness, correct it if necessary, and then put that on. Viola. Take the measurement, lock it. Scribe. Razor blade. Spruce. Maybe we hit grain. Maybe we're in a parallel grain universe. No jumping over a particular year. Oh, we're going to have Shandon anyway. So, there's this piece. This has been forced to the bottom. This piece will keep it there. The length of this piece is important. This washer is critical to how these work. In general, it absorbs all the force that stretches the rod or keeps it pulling. So this face of any washer, this is actually a washer, pushes against the counterbore. There's a counterbore that's this diameter that they put in right to here. It's round. You can see the round. It stops right there and turns into a slot. So I made the end of this meet the end of that counterbore. This spacer, I've made the end of that spacer just in case something wants to push on it. So all of this is to absorb the force. I'm going to glue a washer in there. spread the force out, because, I don't know, poplar's probably pretty strong. Anyway, we'll see. I'm going to glue this on next. Took off all the clamps, despite the zoom of this goddamn camera. I'm taking these off. This goes on next, and at that point, that'll be obscured. To do a little work in here yet, but we're getting there. So, we will do things like, again, this is 3/1000ths. Make sure this is level and do what's required. There's a drop off. Ooh, it's great till then. Drop off and a couple of spots. Anyway, we'll level this again. And let's see where we are with this. Perfect. On down there. It's now a little bit above the bridge. So, I'm using this and the straight edge to level this. I've got this ready. Trim the edges. I've been working with these things. 3/1000ths. Boom, 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 boom. Last two frets are dropping off. That's what we want. This is level to plus or minus a thou. These are the original frets, but I've done what I can to keep everything level. And it may not need to be refretted. We're going to glue it on now. And the repair will be almost done, except we're going to reinforce this entire area. And it'll never move again. So, we'll let it sit overnight. Before I did this, I made sure we had the adjuster working. I gotta keep it loose right now, but it's ready. The washer's in there. This will work fine. It won't be needed, but it's there in case. So these are folded wet paper towels. They're going to be in there for 10 minutes. One, two, yeah. I'm getting this wood slightly moist. These pieces are going to go in here, but they're going to be clamped in order to remove a very slight amount of warpage and reinforce this area. This is the weak spot. These are beveled, so when they're placed in here, they'll be invisible. They'll be back a little bit, like that. So, on the inside, down in here, will be a flat surface. Paper towel will be gone. This will be in there. This will be pushing up. This will be see on the outside, it's flat also. And the same using this set of blocks over here. So there's your intonated sculpture. We took this out, this tone killer, and these are a 16th inch wide to the depth. I will sometimes hide these by making them the same color as this, but it's honest. I've done a lot of work here to make this thing, to hide the transitions. It's not perfect, but it's very serviceable. It's quality lacquer, and I'm almost done. I'm going to rub it out, string it up.